So a friend of mine messaged me and was like, "Hey, you want some cheese?" My brother's got a bunch of cheese to get rid of, and I was like, "Yeah, sure.
I always want cheese.
I'll take some cheese."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Well, yeah, I'll pull you some aside." And then he's like, "And come by and get it." So then the other day, I go by to get it, and I'm like, "Yeah. So where's that cheese?" And he's like, "Let me get it out of the freezer." And he pulls out of the chest freezer these full cases of cheese. And so I'm like, "Oh," he's like, "Yeah, it's a lot of cheese." And then he's like, "And I've got multiple of these." So we got a case of Swiss, a case of pepper jack, and then a whole case of shredded mozzarella.
All great.
Yeah.
All great cheeses.
So yeah. So if you so then I decided to share some cheese.
How does this person have that much though?
I think his brother was working for a distributor or something, and then just ended up with a bunch of stuff, like leftover stuff or something. I don't know, or it fell off the back of a truck. Who knows?
You just swiped it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fair game then if it fell off the truck.
for sure. Hello and welcome back to Screen Time. I'm your host Josh, and now y'all were without sin can cast the first stone. And my co-host Jared.
Edwina's insides were a rocky place where my seed could find no purchase.
I was actually considering that one.
I was hoping you didn't do that one.
But I like this because it was like biblical, but not, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, today we are talking about Raising Arizona, our second Coen Brothers movie, and this is it's 1987, PG-13, in an hour and 34 minutes.
Great year.
Yeah. Maybe 9 years late.
I'm saying not as good as
9 years prior.
Yeah.
So we got a little synopsis here. When a childless couple, an ex-con and an ex-cop, decide to help themselves to one of another's family's quintuplets, their lives become more complicated than they anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
So we got, I would say, directed and written by Joel and Ethan Coen. Cinematographer is Barry Sonnenfeld.
Sonnenfeld.
Yeah, again.
Mm-hmm.
And then music.
Same guy. Carter Burwell.
Carter Burwell. Just a little bit more. $6 million is the budget.
$6 million. Okay.
Yeah, a little more than last. And again, no awards.
No awards.
Well, didn't win any Oscars. That's all we're.
Well, okay.
That's all we're looking at.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some awards somewhere.
Yeah. Well, they'll get plenty of those in the future.
Oh yeah. Well, and then eventually they change up who the cinematographer is.
Yes, they do. Yep.
To someone who we're very familiar with.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
All right. So we got a little bit a bigger cast here than prior. We got Nicolas Cage, Holly Hunter, Trey Wilson Sr., John Goodman, William Forsythe, I don't know how you say that, Sam McMurray, Francis McDormand, and then Randall Tex Cobb.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The only other one I have is we got Emmett Walsh again. He's only in one scene, but the guy from Blood Simple.
Oh, was he in there?
Yeah, he's in one scene. He's like in that auto shop.
Oh, I missed that.
That's him.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So overall thoughts on this movie?
Well, how do I want to start? Actually, let's see. Let me look at my notes.
Yeah.
I
can go if you.
No, I got it.
Okay.
So I've never I don't think I have seen this movie. I was
Okay.
thinking like, or at least if I did, I didn't really remember
Yeah.
anything here. It's one of those that I was like, did I see it a long time ago? I know you said you did long ago, but I don't. Yeah, so you might not remember much of it either. But
No.
um, yeah. So this was basically, I guess, like watching it the first time.
Hmm.
Uh, there's some really, really funny parts in this movie. I thought that were great, and just some really ridiculous sections too, which like they went really over the top. Which like I get it, like that's kind of the tone they're doing with
Yeah.
this. And speaking of the tone, is like it's almost polar opposite of Blood Simple. Like
Hmm.
I was talking about with that movie, it was like very slow dialogue, like
Hmm.
thought out. This is like very fast dialogue,
Yep.
like witty dialogue. And just the overall tone of the movie is like I feel like complete opposite of this
Yeah.
last movie.
It. I agree.
Yeah.
So in general, I like this movie. All right. I
Yeah,
mean,
I did like it. Yeah, yeah. It was-
like you said, like there's some stuff that works. It's funny. There's also stuff that feels really kind of dumb as well. Like
yeah.
and like I know there's just kind of. I mean, that's kind of the point. Like the
Mhm.
funniness, but like some parts, I guess, just didn't work, and it could be just the time, right? Now that it's watching it
Yeah.
at this in 2024 instead of 87, and just landing differently. Um, in general, it almost feels like a cartoon.
It does. That's what
Like
I mean by the
it's just kind of goofy silliness of like a Looney Tune or something.
yeah.
Almost like
Well, what I was thinking and specifically why like it is so ridiculous at times is like when they like look at each other and then like scream and then like keep screaming. Like that is very cartoonish. And I mean I guess that's kind of like the vibe they're going for. But that's the only times where I'm like this is very over the top.
yeah.
But then there's some scenes that actually are genuinely hilarious. Like I was like really cracking up. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let's get into it then. Let's talk about a little bit of stuff we
Yeah.
liked, didn't like.
Well, I also just want to say because we just mentioned all the cast, I just Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter's just their back and forth.
Yeah.
They were so good. Like their
Yeah.
chemistry together was great. And special shout out to Holly Hunter because that's Elastigirl
Mm-hmm.
/ Miss Incredible.
Yeah.
So shout out to her.
Like, well, she was Maurice. She was in Succession.
She was, yeah.
Yeah. Forget her character's name, but she was good in that too.
Mm-hmm. Also, I feel like every Nicolas Cage movie, there's like a crazy face he makes that becomes a meme. And I was trying to find this one. He does make a crazy face, but I don't see it as much from this movie. But I'm sure there is like
Mhm.
out there. But every movie makes just some like wild faces.
Yes, he does. Yeah, so let's get into like so what are some of the scenes you liked or didn't like, or you said you thought that worked?
Let's see. I have.
Well,
Yeah, I got a couple. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Well, I was just like, I think even the opening with his voiceover, Nicolas Cage voiceover, his
Mhm.
character's voiceover, hi, right, hi.
Yeah,
Ah.
HI. They
Yeah.
call him High or they call him HI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He and then he's like, he keeps getting arrested, and then he's
I
like
haven't
flirting
noted
with
that.
her,
Yeah.
and you're like, it's so ridiculous that like that would even work, but
But every time he gets like a little closer to her, yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah. I haven't noted that. That's just kind of that whole opening montage of him like going into prison and getting out and then back in and all that. Yeah.
and
it's
just the way
great.
he talks about it, like it's like, well, and then
Yeah.
yeah, it was good. It's good.
Mhm. Let's see. I have. I think this is a little bit later, but this made me laugh a lot more than I thought it would, and it's the guy. Well, so it'd be the dad, I guess. The
Mm.
yeah,
Quintuplets.
quintuplets. Nathan, Arizona, and it's when he says, "The owner of the largest chain of unpainted furniture and bathroom fixture outlets throughout the Southwest." I just that was hilarious to me. Like
Well,
that specific of a, and also that
we,
guy has so many one-liners that were hilarious
yeah,
that he was saying to like his wife and just other people.
his wife is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Just her like demeanor.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're just like, and yeah. Well, even when he's like, and then he's like, and if I'm not, if it doesn't say Arizona or something like,
Yeah, his catchphrase. He has like a yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Um, yeah, I think, yeah, the, so, yeah, one of the things I think didn't work for
Mhm.
me was like all the stuff with the warthog guy and like the
Oh yeah.
action scenes there were just so stupid.
It
Like,
was.
that it was, and again, felt like a cartoon, like literally like a cartoon. And,
Mhm.
but I mean, even I think some of the perspectives they were shooting that with, like they always had the cameras really low and stuff, and it kind of
Right.
feels like, I don't know. But the same thing with like when he first tries to get the baby, and like just him, he's juggling all the babies, and it's
Uh-huh.
like, and you're
That
like,
scene,
dude,
yeah.
you're like, just shut the door, like this kind of things. So
Yeah.
it was like just it was a little too goofy for me to like
That
really.
was yeah. That's another note I have. I did like that scene though. Just yeah, it kept changing like the perspectives
Hmm.
of him and like following him around and
Yeah, that was cool. Like
yeah, I
the
liked
camera
all that.
perspectives. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
But no,
part.
I know what you mean. Yeah, they
Like,
were like going out.
from a story
Yeah.
standpoint, you're like, I was like, this is just
Yeah.
dumb.
So did you say yeah, so you did watch this movie before, like when you were really young,
I
right?
mean, I think so.
Did you
But I
like
don't
remember any
remember
of it?
any of it.
Okay.
No, so it was like watching it first time. But yeah, I swear.
Yeah, and also like
my Uncle Fred showed me this movie.
that would make sense. Also, the name of the movie and even the like cover of the movie. Like I feel I've heard that so much and seen that cover so
Yeah.
much. You know, it's another one of those things like what were we talking about? American Beauty,
Mm, yeah.
right? Where we were talking about like
Or
how
with
iconic that
me
cover
with
is.
what was the Villeneuve movie with Amy Adams.
Arrival.
Arrival. I thought I had seen it.
Mm-hmm.
No, just trailers and other movies. They were kind of around the same. same.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh no, I didn't see it. Yeah. What is some other stuff you liked or didn't?
I forgot I had a note about this. So I already mentioned that one about Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter's just their dynamic.
Yeah.
It's great. I think honestly that's like some of the best dialogue is like them going back and forth and like how worked up they both get
Yeah.
was like hilarious to me. Like especially when they're in the car a lot of times. Yeah.
So the when they had the other couple over to eat,
Oh, man.
they have like all the kids. Like that stuff was great
That was great. Yeah.
because that guy was.
Yeah, it made me think of like Cousin Eddie from like
Yeah.
National Lampoon. Like
Yeah.
that's what I really thought of with that.
Well, and then the lady, and she's like, "Well, you have your, pediatrician picked out yet? You got the like,"
Mhm.
and she's like, "Hi, are we on that?"
Mhm.
like that usually like where it's just like you got to compete with the other couple, and
Yep.
and like, yeah, it was
And that's where let me go back to cast because that's the only scene that Frances McDormand is in. So like that's her. She's the mom, and then the dad is Sam McMurray, which I didn't know his name. I had to look him up, but I just know him because he's like randomly just because I've seen this movie so much. He's like Clark from Christmas Vacation's like coworker.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like the only other thing I've seen him in, but I've seen that movie so much. It is funny because he only says a couple lines in those movies. So like him in this, I thought was great because he was like,
Yeah.
what was he doing? Like Polish jokes? He kept doing Polish jokes.
But he couldn't get the
No,
delivery right.
What do you call it? Where it's like you think about on the way home. What do you call it? I forget. That was great too.
And then because then I was like, but I'm already
Yeah, but I'm already
home.
home, so it doesn't apply. Yeah, yeah. There's some good stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
like that, and I would say also the other guy not as much, but some of John Goodman's dialogue too. Like
Yeah.
he was great in this. He was funny.
He's good, but I feel like it was also I don't know, they were underutilized a little
Yeah.
bit. Like that was a weird like side plot line that like kind of
It was.
didn't serve a lot of purpose.
No, it's just for them to eventually like,
Yeah,
yeah, at the end get to yeah.
yeah, but yeah.
The other actor,
Well, while you're looking at,
mhm.
I love the other guy from the Private Eye from Blood Simple, and he's like the boss at, or like the coworker guy that like every time he's at the manufacturing or whatever.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, from Blood Simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's the guy. Yeah, he's the investigator. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. His yeah,
Oh yeah, then I
Emmett
remember
Walsh.
seeing,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember seeing
Mm-hmm.
him. Yeah. Yeah. Did I not have him on the list? I guess I didn't.
No, yeah, that was only yeah,
Hmm.
but I mean, he's not. Yeah, they only cut back to him like 2 times or something. Like he's barely in it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's like every time he's like laughing, he's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And again, it's like when we were doing Blood Simple, I was saying like he's just the same character
Yeah.
basically, like
Yeah.
in everything I've seen him in. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other actor was actually the guy that's on the motorcycle, and the funny thing is, I remember him from. This is going to be a deep cut, but it's from my childhood though. He's from Ernest Goes to Jail, and then because I looked him up, because I'm like I know this guy,
Yeah.
and I had to look it up because I didn't know. But yeah, he's like in the. I think he's might be like. I mean, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Yeah.
I can't remember. He's in the jail somewhere with him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only other time I've seen that guy
Is that right?
too. Yeah, and I don't think he even really talks in that movie either. Because does he say anything in this movie?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, he does a little bit when he meets with.
Arizona.
Yes, that's the only time he talks. Yeah, yeah. I forget his name. Nathan, Arizona. There it is. That guy's funny.
Yeah.
I think my really only other scene is the long chase scene in like the middle of the movie, because there is kind of one at the end with a lot of cars, but the one in the middle I thought was like just crazy because it just kept going. And at times it did get almost to like what you were saying, that like cartoon level, but
Mhm.
also I was like, what all they did with that scene I thought was really cool. Like they did a lot.
Yeah.
Like he was going,
Like,
where did he go? He went to
he's
like a grocery store, or where else did he go?
And like every time he's like, the dogs are there. Like
Yep.
he runs to that person's house and through the basement, then out the back door, and the
Yep.
dogs are like there, and the cops chasing him. And every time, and yeah, the cops like shooting, and he's at the grocery store,
Mhm.
and he's and then he ends up, wherever he ends up, and then like she just picks him up because she's like,
Mhm.
because she's like originally she's just like, yeah, I'm leaving you here because
Well,
he's trying to rob the convenience store.
I would say that's the setup for the scene, which I thought was great also,
Yeah.
because you see her in the background just start getting pissed when he has,
And she moves,
and then she just leaves.
because she goes to the driver's seat because she's on the passenger side initially.
Right. Yep.
I have a note about that for cinematography later.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then the only other note I have was just because he wears something else later, I think, but the couple button up shirts that he wears, I was like, these are kind of sick. I think I would actually wear them. I thought
Yeah.
they were cool.
Yeah.
But then he's in something else outdoors, I think, towards the end. I can't remember. He does, yeah, he has quite a few outfit changes, which is funny because you see on the cover of the movie, like, I thought, like, that's just what he's in the whole movie, you know, because that's like the iconic shirt
Mhm.
and him like holding the baby. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So,
You have any other scenes or anything else?
I mean, I would say just, the end was a little like, I think it was like a, good touching ending, like where,
Yeah, I didn't have a note about that, but yeah, you're right.
like they
It
were
was a good
like they
ending.
returned them back because they realized, oh, we shouldn't have stole a baby, one, and then that it was a little much for them, and then the guy, Nathan, Arizona, like,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, first like oh, you think, because he had a reward out for it, but then he realizes they were the ones that took
Yeah.
took them, and then, but then there, it's kind of like, well, he's like, okay, yeah, like he wasn't like gonna get pissed about it or anything,
Right.
and yeah, thought it was,
It was a good ending. Yeah. The part, oh, that's what I had it under themes and messaging because I didn't
yeah,
really have anything. I was like, don't steal baby, but then they end up doing the right thing at the end,
yeah,
So like,
yeah,
yeah, that was good. And then yeah, it was cool seeing like what was he talking about? Like the baby um like grown up son playing football and then it shows them like as like grandparents,
yeah,
right? And all that. Yeah. All that was good, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yes, we'll talk a little about cinematography and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, nothing like crazy, but like
No.
just the perspectives sometimes of where they put the camera was, I would say a little, especially in the 80s, like feel like it was probably a little bit more out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of low stuff, obviously with the babies crawling around, like you mentioned in that. Then there's like, when, well, I think some of the fights where, he's crawling under the truck before the warthog guy, like,
Oh yeah.
it's just
At
like,
the end,
and
yeah.
they kind of have the shots under the, seeing that. And
Mm-hmm.
just I feel like there was, yeah, they had fun with camera placement and things, like just to feel different, and not
Yeah.
traditional at all.
No. They did more of the thing I pointed out in Blood Simple, or like that, like it either would be like almost like the first person view, like fast moving, like that's more the Sam Raimi thing we were talking about with Evil Dead, or it would be the like I don't know. It seemed like, which again I can't remember what you said how they would have done it, but it seemed like just someone just running with the camera real fast, like up close to someone because they did it in the last movie, and it seemed like they
They
did
did a
that
bunch in
more.
this.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did a
they
lot
did a
more in
bunch in
this one.
this.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, because it even be like when the ladder was going against the house to go in the
yeah.
snow baiting, it'd be like move up really
Mm-hmm.
fast. And there's like, yeah, different stuff like that. Yeah, I think that is probably just sped up,
Oh, really?
like someone doing it and then they speed it up. Probably
Okay.
like someone doing it handheld, kind of like Steadicam or something. I don't know what they exactly use, because it's definitely not. It's not a dolly. It doesn't feel like a
That
dolly.
I didn't think so. That's why I figured it was just someone running, but I didn't know at that time like would they have a good enough rig that you could do that easily?
Well, I mean, yeah, like if you do it slower and then speed it up, like
True.
then you can keep it a little. Sometimes you can be a little more steady, and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sure. It definitely has a different look to it than
Yeah, and I mean I think it's probably also
you wouldn't see it. It wouldn't look like that today. Because
no.
if someone wanted to do it, it would be either on. They'd either do it with like a drone, like they,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or they would do it where yes, they had a rig and someone was just running, or two people running holding the rig and moving it up really fast.
I wonder if that's all him, Barry Sonnenfeld, or if the Coens were like
Yeah,
part of that at all, either like with like those interesting angles with the camera and like placement. I wonder
yeah,
because it seems like going forward, and again, I don't know how much Barry has done with all their movies, but like I feel like there's a lot of that going forward as well in their movies.
yeah.
So
But then some of the other stuff he did, um, like when Harry Met Sally,
mm.
Big,
Oh yeah,
um, like don't have that stuff.
no,
So I don't know.
so it could be
Could be more of them
yeah,
wanting that.
because it definitely, and we'll talk about this definitely a lot more as we go through all their movies. Is just how man they do like wildly different things throughout their movies. Like we talk about, so these first two are like polar opposites of each other. And then I think the next movie we're doing is like back to probably I think it's pretty serious again, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
The only thing, actually, I did have just something else very quick that I noticed, and it was only in certain scenes. I think it was with the baby scene when he first was trying to, that we were talking about, when he's first trying to wrangle up all the babies, is It seemed like the colors really popped a lot more in that scene. I thought that was cool looking, like in general. And I don't know if it had to do with the room or they really actually did something afterwards to make it look more vibrant or something. I don't know. There were certain scenes. It was like that one, and there was at least one other one scene I saw. It seemed more bright
Be
or
more
saturated.
that I think that the house, like that stuff, definitely was on a set.
Oh, that house was on
Yeah,
a
the
set.
house
Okay.
and yeah, like and the like so like the main floor and then the
Mm-hmm.
upstairs. Yeah, it definitely was a studio set.
You think so?
Yeah, and like, but then like a lot of the outside stuff and things were not. So then the lighting could feel a little different and be a little more controlled. It might
Okay.
cause that look to feel different.
Or also, since if they're building it, then they can get something even more brighter. Because it
Mhm.
seemed like it was like the carpet, the walls, like just a lot of different stuff that seemed way brighter. So they could have just done
Yeah.
that.
Well, and just there's a lot of times you can,
But
depending
you're
on what you
saying
do,
more
it's
lighting,
just
yeah.
like allow more light to come in
Mm-hmm.
because you're not like in a normal actual roofed house. Like
True.
the roof is open and they can just
Yeah.
shine. Anyway, just sometimes that makes a difference on
And I
how light how it looks.
and I do think it's not like a huge jump, but it'll be interesting to see just how much, like obviously with bigger budgets and just how they go, like we've talked about many times, how cool it is seeing where a director starts and then going through the whole
Yeah.
thing. Like it's even cool seeing the difference between this movie and the last movie because this doesn't feel that much. It doesn't feel like still doesn't feel like a big Hollywood movie at all,
No,
but it feels, I guess, a little more.
a little more ambitious.
Yeah, but like even the look of it and everything, it still seems pretty
Yeah.
similar
Yeah.
to Blood Simple. Now again, so probably a lot of that is actor wise, like because you're saying you're getting like what around 5 million more for this, right? Because it was 6 total.
Yes.
So
Yeah. I mean, so more locations in this.
yeah, there is more locations.
There's
Yeah.
and more cast. I mean, there's a lot more cast.
That's still, though, thinking about it, 6 million.
Mhm.
Now again, we were talking about like compare that to what that would be
Yeah.
now. I
12
don't know.
million or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So
Um,
still good though, because actually, you know what? Also, there's a lot of explosions that I was like, this. It definitely blew something up. So like that's got to be expensive, right? All that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
I was gonna say the
that eats into the
the
budget.
special effects of John Goodman coming out of that hole was.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that. He's just screaming the whole time. That was. Oh
You
man.
see like the foam, whatever. That
Mhm.
like it's so bad.
I do remember that. Yeah.
What I wanted to say about the so at the convenience store where he goes when they're together and they have the baby in the back, Junior in the
Yeah.
back. They and she's sitting in the passenger seat and he goes inside. Like when they go to the scene to show her out there, the vehicle has no front glass. It's all the glass is taken out of the front of the
Wow, I didn't even notice that.
and they're just filming right through like no glasses there. And I don't know if it's because then you end up with double glass and they want to be able to see
Mhm.
more of her because because there's some scenes where it's like you don't it's the camera's actually outside the convenience store and like just filming the car but then later you see from inside the convenience store and you see her moving and so I don't know if they did it for that so you could see her better inside.
Mm.
But like because double glass really starts to get crazy and,
Right.
and reflectives and glares.
I guess it worked because I didn't get
Yeah,
it. So they
it's-
were just like, no one's gonna notice it, or most people won't notice it.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean, it's a real issue. It's challenging and really a lighting issue to film through glass, especially
Yeah.
angled glass that's normally curved and angled, like on a car, front of a car. Like I've had to do it, and we've done it, but like you got to really control the light, and it's a lot of work.
I
Make it look great.
thought you were for that scene. I thought you were going to talk about the framing because it actually was pretty good. Where you see him hold the gun, and then she's like in the background, right in the middle. So you have the guy, the employee, and then her,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all like right there. And even when she moves
It's
around, you still
blocked
can
really
see
good.
Yeah, you can still see everything really well. Yeah.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
good.
No, you're right. It was blocked well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was just distracted by the fact there was no windshield.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where I was like, this looks weird. Oh, there's no windshield because like it was too clean. Is basically what I know, noticed, and then and that's where it is.
Well, it's one of those things like if it's something you do and you're aware of the process, it's like those kind of things stick out more.
Yeah.
Like we talk about with music with me, like
Mhm.
those things stick out more to you. So these kind of things with you, you can really notice it, and then you can't focus on anything else because then you're yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I mean, it covers the gist of what I had for that section. Um, music and score.
There really isn't much. And I was trying to think. I'm like, I guess
Except for the theme song or the theme
I was
like
gonna say
thing.
yeah, like the banjo and the yodeling or whatever. Like
Yes.
I don't know if that's him who wrote it and did that or Carter Burwell, but like I think it's the only spots because I was trying to hear like even if there's like a tiny bit of like background
But that's in
synth or
there. That's in
drone.
there a lot.
Right.
But it's
So
also very catchy and like
yeah, yeah. It's I mean
it
it
fits
fits
the
the
thing.
vibe for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. So like besides that, I don't think there was anything else in there really because I was really trying to. I think there was only one other spot where it was like very, very, very subtle in the background, and it was only for like 2 seconds. Like it's this thing kind of just like came in for a second, then came out. So I don't know. There wasn't much, so I don't
yeah.
really have any. But yeah, you're right. It definitely fit the mood.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I feel like, although it makes sense now that you're talking about it and like being like in a cartoonish way, that makes more sense. But that whole same theme is when they're doing the long chase.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, is this what you want to put in for the section? But I guess if you think of it on that level,
Yeah.
it makes more sense. Yeah.
It feels just like the like goofy music that would be in a cartoon.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
under.
Which actually now I did see something. Oh no, it was his tattoo. So maybe that probably is intentional now that I'm thinking about it because at the end on the biker, he sees the Woody Woodpecker tattoo. So maybe
Right.
they are meant to
And
imply.
he has one too, doesn't he? Or what's the tattoo he has that like they?
I can't remember, but his hair definitely is like Woody Woodpecker too.
Yeah.
So like I guess they're trying to do that
Yeah.
intentionally to kind of as a nod for it being more cartoonish. Yeah. Yeah, what is his tattoo?
Yeah. Hi. He's got a tattoo.
Yeah.
They bring up at the beginning. I didn't go back and look,
I don't remember.
but I think it was like something similar. But all right, so themes and messages, and I know you kind of already.
Yeah, that was
said
all I
it.
had was
Well, I mean, of course, trying to read into like a little maybe too much, but
mhm.
but like I was thinking, like maybe a little point is like you know it's the whole process and adopting and just and even like in vitro and different things that
Mhm.
you can do. It's kind of like maybe it's a little too difficult and too pricey that like
Mhm.
even like some maybe not wealthy but like caring people that want to have a kid and they can't because of things are not set up for
Mhm.
people to have kids unless you have a lot of money and time to make it happen. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that was real like intentional, but like
That's probably part of it, yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, it's and but I don't, yeah. Otherwise, like you said, like don't steal a baby.
Yeah, don't steal baby.
And there's also in there the and just like it's not as easy as it looks, right? To take care of a kid. Like 'cause
That
I think
definitely is apparent.
I think they
Yeah.
learned that lesson because they
Mhm.
thought, oh, this will be fun, and then
I like well, it's funny in general when John Goodman and the other guy were just in their house and like they couldn't get them to leave. But his remarks where he started to get like real skeptical about like the baby and asking her like, "Hey, why aren't you breastfeeding him?" And then
yeah,
like, what else did he say? Something like, I can't remember, but he kept like asking her stuff that like,
mm-hmm.
so that was good. I like all that. But the one guy was like, about he's like man he's like eating cornflakes and he's like mighty fine cornflakes you have here or something like he was he's like complimenting her on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
There's
there. I was trying to think of other stuff besides obviously like we talked about The Incredibles for Holly Hunter. I was thinking, and then a little bit in Succession, but like what else? Because I know she's been in a lot, but I was thinking like, what is like her biggest? Is this one of her biggest
I don't know.
roles?
I didn't actually look. I'm sure.
Because she was really good in this, and I wonder if she did more comedies like this, or if she did a lot more serious stuff. Because she was great with the, yeah. What is she most known for?
I mean, what they put at the top, you've got broadcast news.
Oh, whoa, that's even older than this. Okay.
The same year, 87.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was older.
13. Movie called 13. It was from 2003. The Piano from 93.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have Incredibles.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. She was on Mr. Mayor. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. Yeah.
She was on,
That's right. She was on that
I
too.
forgot she was on
Huh.
that. She played the, like, yeah.
That's the thing is that like because she has such a unique voice,
Mhm.
you know her immediately whether it's of a voice project, right? Or if it's actually just her, like, you know immediately.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. She's still doing a lot, and Nicolas Cage still doing a lot too, actually.
She's in Oh Brother, We're Out, though.
Okay. I'm wondering how many people they bring back, because so far we were talking about, I think Frances McDormand's like in every movie of theirs, or like almost all of them, at least in like a
Yeah.
little part. So I wonder about any other people. Probably the other guy. What's his name? Emmett Walsh. He's probably
Yeah.
in.
Probably, yeah.
He's probably in a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, she's in a bunch of stuff. So, but like a lot of stuff I've either never seen or heard of. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, final thoughts about this movie. Which one do you like better?
That's hard because I actually liked Blood Simple more than I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
But they're polar opposites, so I don't know. Because I really like both of these kind of movies.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. Probably this one still. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, easier. I think.
I know you weren't into Blood Simple
Well, I
as
was
much
gonna say
as me.
if I had to rewatch one.
Oh yeah, it would be this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of telling in itself. You're like, which one, not always, but like, I feel like that's a good litmus test to be like,
Definitely.
watch it or not. And yeah, I would.
Well, and also this one obviously became more popular too, because this one like we were aware of.
Right. Which
Like
Blood
I had
Simple,
no
I'd
idea.
never-
Yeah.
No.
about
neither,
there,
me
so.
neither. All right. Well, next movie
Mm-hmm.
and the list is Miller's Crossing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is serious. This looks like a gangster movie or something, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch anything on it.
I have never seen the movie, but I was just looking at the cover of it. I think I wanted to see if we're going back to yeah, I think it's going to be kind of like Road to Perdition, like we were doing for Sam Mendes. I think it's going to be like that.
Yeah.
This one though, by the name, I have heard before. I think this was also a big deal, movie-wise.
I don't think I'd ever heard of it, or if I.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Well, this would make sense then, because this is kind of their style. Like it's a gangster period drama, but it also says dark comedy, which is kind of their thing. Coen Brothers do a lot of
Yep.
like Fargo is like the biggest example of that, So that's definitely their style. So they kind of throw that in all their stuff, because there's some of that even in a little bit in Blood Simple too.
Mhm.
Like they always kind of have a little bit of dark comedy. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Yeah, this is Prohibition era, so definitely another good cast too. So yeah, this would be cool.
awesome. Well, would you guys think if you've seen this movie or haven't and will end up watching it because of this? Like, you know, leave us a comment or write in. Raising Arizona. What are your thoughts? And if you're enjoying this or our other podcast, like and subscribe on YouTube, or Apple Podcasts, or
Mm-hmm.
Spotify. Give us a rating if you so choose. We appreciate a 5 star.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and then if you want to, you can follow us on Instagram. I'm at J Youngbar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right, and that we will talk to you guys next week.